This is Professor Pete Alexander with the Winning at Business and Life podcast, where business leaders share their insights. It is 6 questions in 7 minutes because successful business leaders are busy and rarely have more time to spare. So let's get to it. Question number 1, in a few sentences, please tell me who you are and what you do.
I am Manny Hernandez. I am Vice President of People and Culture for Typo. Typo is a diabetes technology nonprofit that is committed to providing free software for the people that live with diabetes to make the most and get the most out of their diabetes devices.
Manny, it's great to have you on a show. And as a diabetic myself, I'm even more happy that you're here. Question number 2, what's the best thing about working in your industry?
So there's 2 elements to that, the answer to that question. One is working in healthcare and the other one working in the nonprofit sector. Working in both actually comes with an incredible amount of passion for the cause, for the mission. There's no bigger satisfaction than to do something that is meaningful and impactful and ultimately helps others live better, live healthier. So I mean that's the best thing, quite frankly. Like you end up not having a job, but it's just an incredible opportunity to do something that is very, very fulfilling.
I love it. And I can hear the passion in your voice. It's so great. Question number 3. I have a fictitious book with all the answers for business. What chapter would you think most companies should read?
I have a bias, as you might guess, and I would say they should put a lot of emphasis on the chapter about people.
And I'm not surprised about that. All right. Question number 4. Other than the generic work harder, have a great attitude, and care for customers, what advice or insight would you give to other business leaders?
Caring about the people that work with you, I think is like fundamental. It is, yes, all the things that you mentioned are essential to the business, but at the end of the day, the people that make things happen within the company uh, are just central to success. Uh, Taking care of them in many ways, from the moment that someone applies for a job with your company, treating people with respect, with dignity, getting back to them, being thoughtful and mindful about them as they go through the recruiting process. When people ultimately get selected to join your company, making sure that you enable them with the tools to do their best possible job, that you create an environment that empowers them to succeed and be able to bring their full selves to work. Very, very important. Over time, making sure that you listen, pay close attention to their hopes and desires as professionals, as individuals, so they can grow along with your company. They can grow and ultimately contribute more to the company. And even in the difficult situations where someone needs to be let go, there is a place, and a very important place, for dignity and respect. Nobody deserves to be, treated without anything less than as a professional, as a human, with dignity. So I think it just boils down to being like good humans, good, representatives of the human race, and at work, as well as we aim and want to be outside work.
And what you're saying is so insightful because, whether they have to be let go or they leave to pursue another opportunity, if they're treated with dignity and respect, they're going to have a positive, branding sense of the company. Would that? Am I making that right assumption?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think the same thing with like someone applying for a position with your company. You could very well maybe not select someone that applies, but you can bet that if you treated them with respect and dignity, they are going to leave with a good impression of the process and ultimately a very positive impression of your company and your brand. So it is also good business, if you may. But that's not the reason to do it. I think the important reason to do it is because it's a right thing to do, to treat people, fairly and, compassionately, as should be at all times.
Couldn't agree more. Thank you. Question number 5. What other business leader like yourself would you like to acknowledge and invite to be on my podcast?
I would love to refer Mr. Howard Look. He's the CEO of Typo, the organization where I work now. He is an inspiring and influential figure that has really helped advance the cause of the We Are Not Waiting movement in the diabetes community, and had a tremendous impact in more ways than one, not just like in terms of the products that Typo now offers people with diabetes, but also in terms of the regulatory process. He has really been very instrumental to how FDA and other regulatory agencies see, the regulation of software as a device, if you may. So I think he would have some great insights to share with your listeners.
Oh, I think so too. Thank you for that referral. And our final question, question number 6. Please tell me about your first job.
So if you are a parent, you probably have seen that there's a brand of diapers called Pampers. So my first job was at the manufacturing facility for Pampers diapers back in Venezuela, where I'm originally from. And I learned so much. I never imagined that there would be so much to making a diaper. So like, never underestimate, the level of depth any kind of company or environment might have, because I think you will be pleasantly surprised when you just keep an open mind. So great learnings, great, it was 4 years that I worked there. So like, I look back very fondly on that time.
Oh, that's great. You're the first person to say that we're a diaper manufacturing facility. So thank you for that. That's a new one on my end and for the listeners.
Happy to contribute to the list of firsts.
Manny, thank you so much for being on the show. How can people find you?
I am very active on 2 platforms. On Twitter, I am at Ask Manny, and on LinkedIn, also if you type my name, Manny Hernandez, or if you put the /Ask Manny, you'll get to my page as well.
Wonderful. This is Professor Pete Alexander with the Winning at Business and Life podcast. For more insights and ideas, please go to LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, or iTunes and search for the Winning at Business and Life podcast. Thanks for listening.